Hi and welcome to Fairy Herb School. In this episode I'm going to tell you all about Calendula and its magical, medicinal and household uses, and also how to grow and harvest Calendula. The ancient Romans gave this plant the name it has because they noticed that the flowers were in bloom on the first day of every month of the calendar. Calendula has these beautiful puffy yellow and orange flowers which attract bees, butterflies and birds. So the fairies will love it if you plant these in your garden. And because of its bright, happy sunshine colours, this is a great herb to have around and use during summer celebrations. Calendula is associated with the element of fire and the sun, and it is sacred to the sun gods and goddesses. It is a masculine energy plant. Calendula has so many magical uses. As an oil, it can be used to concentrate tools and help remove negative energy. And this works really well because this herb is a herb of the sun and it has such a bright, happy, uplifting energy to it. There's also an old spell which has calendula in, which can help you to see fairies. I've also put this recipe and instructions in the comments down below to make this ointment, but just bear in mind that it is from the 16th century, so some wording is old-fashioned. The salite oil would now be known as olive oil, and they refer to calendula as marigold. Calendula can also help to increase your psychic vision. You get 2 cotton pads and soak them in calendula tea and then place these over your eyes to help you open your third eye. And this is particularly helpful if there is a person that you need to know if they're telling the truth or hiding something from you, or if there is a situation that you need to look at in a different way. Calendula is also a traditional flower of love, so it's really helpful and beneficial to use in love spells, and it's also a great addition to dream pillows. Calendula has a long history of being a healing tonic for the body. You can either eat the petals in a salad, or you can make a tea using 2 teaspoons of dried herb to a cup of boiling water. Taking it this way is said to cleanse the blood of toxins. Calendula is most well known for its skin healing properties. It is antibacterial, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory and antifungal, and in an oil or a salve it can be used on the skin to soothe skin conditions, or to help heal cuts so you don't get infections, and to help lessen scarring too. This herb is gentle enough to use on babies and children, but during pregnancy it should be avoided as a precaution. Calendula can also be used in cooking. It is often referred to as poor man's saffron because it can turn rice and other foods yellow. It can also be eaten raw in salads, and it has a bitter to peppery taste, but the earlier you pick the flowers, the less bitter the taste. The petals can also be made into a dye, which will be really great for dyeing your own altar cloth, and they can also be used as a hair rinse to lighten your hair. You just steep some petals in some boiling water overnight, and then use it as a final rinse the next day. Calendula has bright yellow and orange flowers which bloom from spring till the end of autumn and possibly after, because it can survive early snow and frost. It has these really long fluffy stems and these long green pale thin leaves too. Calendula grows to about 1 foot in height, and the happier the plant, the taller it grows. And you don't want to overwater or overfeed these. They're actually happier and grow better if you water and fertilise them only once a week, unless it's really hot and sunny, and then you'll need to make sure that the soil doesn't completely dry out. It's best to pick the calendula flowers as soon as they've opened, because the longer you leave them, the more bitter the oil will get. So this one, for example, is a flower that's just opened, and you can see it has these rounded leaves, and these older flowers, this one and this one, have started to get a bit more raggedy because they're drying out on the petals. So to cut the flowers and harvest them, you just gently hold the head, and then you hold the rest of the flower here, and then you just pull off the head. Because you don't want to just pull on the flower like this with one hand, because that will cause the plant stress. Another way you can do it is to get a sharp pair of scissors and cut about from here, cut diagonally here, and then once you've done that, you make another cut up here, and then you discard the stem. And then this will encourage the plant to have new growth from here as well. Once the heads are off, remove the petals and lay them out on some plain paper and place in a cool, dark room for a few weeks to dry. And then once they're dry, you place them in an airtight container like this one. And remember to always ask permission from the plants and fairies before taking anything, and to leave a gift to show your appreciation. This is what the petals look like once they're dry, and they smell really nice. You should leave some heads for the fairies, the butterflies and the bees, and this way the plant also gets to grow and develop its own seeds, so it can self-seed next year. You can also wait until the flowers have dried out and collect the seeds yourself. You simply just shake the flower head into an envelope and keep the seeds there until next spring when you can plant them. These are some of the baby calendulas that I planted a few days ago, just peeping out. You can plant them from the last frost until early summer. I hope you've enjoyed learning all about this special herb. Please like and subscribe if you have down below so you can know when I put more herb videos on. Have a magical day, sending you love, light and fairy blessings.